this evening.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hi, this is Ben Bufana. Years ago, when a lot of the feelings and emotions attached to the early traumas or abuses that I'd gone through, when all that was coming up, it evoked all kinds of just really painful, even excruciating feelings. And so instinctively, I had a sense that I needed to work with these feelings. I just began to dive into them. And I would breathe very softly, very deeply. And it took a lot of intensive work, but over time I worked through so much of that. And I just kept getting stronger and into a much better space, more resilient, more resourceful. But as time went on, things changed internally. I found that I wasn't feeling anxious or depressed or didn't have all these painful feelings, emotions surfacing. But we live very intense, very stressful lives. Many of us do. I mean, we're working long hours. We have all kinds of demands and pressures and responsibilities. There's so much that we've gone through along the way. And the body just stores all these stresses, all these emotions that we fail to process, that we haven't digested. And in many instances, we're not really accessing our feelings. Feelings are not necessarily readily available. And so our bodies are very tense, armored. Um, Maybe our neck or shoulders ache or other parts of our body. So in many instances when I'm doing practice, I'll just sit quietly with my eyes closed and I begin to breathe into the feelings, the sensations. Maybe I feel some stress or tension in my neck, upper back. Wherever it is, I just put my awareness there and I begin to breathe very soft and deep. Now I notice as I continue to do this, the musculature, throughout these areas will begin to soften. I first did this when I was coming back in on a commuter train. I trained with a master from China, and I'm riding back into the city. And fortunately, there wasn't really anyone on the train that afternoon sitting close to me, so I had this space around me. So I began to breathe into that tension, and I felt like I had this thick layer of armor in my mid to upper back, up through my neck. And so for about 6 months' time, I would, at least every couple of days, I would spend at least an hour, center my attention within these areas that felt stressed out, very tense, armored. And over time, as I continue to do this, it's like layers of the stress and tension begin to dissolve. And I could feel like there were deeper emotions in there. It's like part of me was like really trying to hold on, like maintaining a practice as I do. There were a lot of emotions or feelings about trying to hold on, keep things together, keep things from falling apart. But as I continue to work with this practice, I would process, I would work through these layers of feeling and emotion, and the musculature would keep softening, and so my back became much more relaxed, much more comfortable. Now there's a woman who would do deep tissue massage for me, and at the end of that 6 months she's saying, wow, what did you do here? Because before I would have to spend like an hour, maybe hour and 15 minutes working in this part of your body, and it's everything was so locked up, and just to get this part of your body to open up. And after I worked with you, it's like all that stress and tension would cause everything to go back where it was. Now I've worked 15 minutes, everything's opened up in your body and staying in place, and now we have time to go work on all these other areas throughout your body. Years ago, too, there were times where chiropractors had tried to adjust me, and I held so much tension in the middle of my back that they would be using all the force they had, but they couldn't get the vertebrae to release or adjust. And there are times now when I sit and I start breathing into those areas in my back, especially the middle back, I'll just like lean back or stretch, and these vertebrae just pop or adjust on their own. Now sometimes after I do this practice, I'll be breathing for a while and there will be deeper layers of emotion that have been stored in the body for some time, like the anxiety, for instance. And so I'd have these waves of anxiety coming out. It's a little disconcerting at first, but after a while I got used to it. And the good thing is, as I keep doing this, layer after layer of emotion just keeps coming out of my body, I feel less encumbered. Because all that emotion that you store in there, it fills a lot of bandwidth. It's like having a hard drive on your computer that's filled with a lot of useless garbage. It just takes up space and it bogs your computer down, so it's not as efficient or effective. A similar thing happens within our own bodies and minds. So it's very important as you drop your awareness down into your body, notice all the feelings, all the sensations, areas that are tense, and you keep breathing with them. Breathing soft and deep, then more and more of the stress is going to work its way through. And it's going to free up more of your body-mind consciousness. You become that much more present, more lucid, more alive. Now sometimes when I breathe too, like I'll be breathing for some time, say I feel the stress or tension in some part of my back, and afterwards, maybe an hour, 2 hours later, there are times where I would feel like the muscles alongside the spine just become really inflamed, and it's like all that emotion that was just stored in the body. Other times it would feel like a sheet, that the trapezius and some of the other muscles just really locking up. It would feel like a thin sheet just bound up very tight, but after another hour or two, it would go ahead and relax. And as I continue to do this, what I find is I'm less dependent upon needing someone to come in and do body work for me. I mean, it's good, go ahead and do the body work. I recommend that you do that because it helps to keep you more rooted, grounded, more present in your body. But before, I would go after 2 weeks, if I didn't get someone to do a massage for me, I'd feel like the muscles were really aching and very uncomfortable. But as I keep doing this, my body becomes softer, more comfortable. The whole experience of being present in my body becomes more enjoyable. So again, this is Ben Bufana, and be sure to check out my Facebook pages, facebook.com/healthy and loving relationships, facebook.com/heal your body and mind. And again, this is New York, so there's a lot of noise in the background, but not much I can do about that. But do your practice. You have a lot of work to do.